Here we go, National Hockey League Thursday, fade or follow. I'm your host, RJ Cash, Break the Board Sports. Click that like, hit subscribe. We give you all your betting trends and information to help you become a better handicapper to pick your own game so you're not paying touts. But if you're a person that doesn't want to take the time and learn how to do it, you can go to breaktheboardsports.com, get $1.37 all of our plays across the board. Let's start out huge slates. So we're going to try to run through these quick for attention span purposes. Seattle Kraken at the Ottawa Senators. Senators laying $1.55. Seattle Kraken plus $1.30 on the road. 53% of bets to the Senators, only relating to 21% of the handle. 47% of bets to the Kraken, only 79% of the handle. Now, that over-under sets at 5.5, 79% of bets, 91% of the handle to the over. Only 21% of bets and 9% of the handle to the under. Again, going to be a lot of over money. You don't see a whole lot of under money in hockey. Books need under money most of the time. So, again, not saying you can just blindly bet all the unders, but I think you got to look for spots to pick and choose. So let's hop into the first one here with the Kraken and the Ottawa Senators. Kraken 1-4 straight up head-to-head the last 5 versus the Senators. Senators have definitely had their number. While Seattle's been tough at home, and it is a tough place to play, they're just 5-10 straight up their last 15 on the road, and 5-11 their last 16 versus an opponent from the Atlantic Division. Now, over-unders, again, we know why the over's hitting. Here's a couple over stats. 4 of the last 5 have went over the total for Ottawa. 6 of their last 8 at home has went over the total for Ottawa. But when these two teams hook up, 4 of the last 5 have actually went to the under. So that 5.5, if you could find a 6, something like that, maybe set you up. Ottawa 1-4 straight up their last 5 games. When you look at, again, the head-to-head last year, they had 2 matchups in which Ottawa won both of those 3-0. Nothing here I really want to get into. When I was looking over at FanDuel and looking at a couple things there, what piqued my interest was these alt totals, right? You can do alt totals and alt puck line. Now, this means some of your parlays, and I think we got to be very careful because parlays and teasers are where bettors go to die, right? That's where you can take a really good handicapper and get just absolutely destroyed because you're doing all these crazy parlays. However, I like to start putting these together to see what we can find and find plus money, because juice is an issue in hockey because a lot of favorites tend to win more and you got to pay high juice and you just don't want to get juiced out at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put it like up there just hanging out. I'm going to put the under 7.5 in an alt total, though it's minus 430. I'm going to put that as a leg of a parlay and we just hold on to that and see what it can do for us later on. Moving to the next game here on the docket, the Nashville Predators at the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens laying $1.60 plus 136 on the comeback for the Predators. Now, 79% of tickets, 71% of the handle is on the Canadiens. 21% of bets, 29% of tickets on the Predators. That over-under 5.5 at DraftKings, again, same thing. 75% of bets, 91% of the tickets to the over. Just an overwhelming amount of support there for the over in that game. When you dive into some trends, Nashville just 5-10 straight up their last 15. And against the Montreal Canadiens, the Canadiens have a 4-1 edge over the Predators their last 5 meetings. Nashville hasn't been very good on the road either. You know, we had them the end of last week. We're able to scratch a win there at plus money as a home dog. But they're just 5-14 straight up their last 19 on the road. They've really struggled, as to where Montreal's been lights out at home. 12-3 straight up their last 15 overall. Now, head-to-head, when these two teams play in Montreal, 10 of the last 13 have actually went to the under in this game, believe it or not. So when I look at that, I'm like, all right, put that in our pocket, right? We're trying to build that parlay. So the Canadiens 3-1 straight up, 1-3 against the spread puck line. Nashville 2-1-1 here on the season. If you look at last year head to head in the matchup, they faced each other twice. The Canadiens took both of those 3-0 and 2-1. So really good. really good play here for the Canadiens. I'm going to go ahead and take the Canadiens minus $1.60. I like them in this spot against the Predators. Again, I got to go against the Predators, who have just struggled mightily on the road. But let's go back to that under, right? I think that under is important because, again, got to look for, we're going to build this parlay to help us out. So I'm actually going to go under the 7.5 goals, $4 even. So we got two setting there, building that parlay. And I'm also going to take this and I'm going to flip it around a little bit. I like the Canadiens, and we are going to lay the $1.60. It's actually $1.52 at FanDuel right now. So let's book that. Scratch one play so far in hockey, minus $1.52. We're going to take the Canadiens. But I'm also going to flip them around here and take the Canadiens plus a goal and a half. So right now we got alt total under 7.5 in the Canadiens plus a goal and a half. And I'm going to take the under alt total under 7.5 in the Kraken Senators minus $1.12, and then we'll get back to that. Rangers at the Maple Leafs. I want nothing to do with either one of these two teams because I just feel like no matter which side I go, I can't win with either of them. Rangers, I'm actually 2-1 with on the year. Maple Leafs, I just can't figure that team out until they get a goalie. I'm just frustrated with them. But let's see if we can give you some stuff to help you guys out. Maple Leafs, minus $1.35, getting 74% of tickets, but only 41% of the handle, tells me a lot of public. Of course, the pros in this, when you have a lower ticket count, Rangers plus $1.15, lower ticket count 26%, but 59% of the money, that tells me pros are probably looking to the Rangers here. Now, again, that over-under 5.5 at DraftKings, not as severely unbalanced as the past two games, but still 72% of tickets and 66% of the money going to the over. As far as head-to-head between these two teams and some trends to help you out, Rangers and Maple Leafs head-to-head, the Maple Leafs have taken 6 of the last 8 meetings over the Rangers, but the Rangers are 4-1 on the road. They've been much better on the road than at home. When these two teams also hook up, when it's in Toronto, the under is cashed 4 of the last 6, but overall 4 of the last 6 have went over. So an over is also cashed 6 of the last 7 games the Maple Leafs have played at home. Reason being is because the goalie sucks. I mean, that's just what it is. Nothing here I want to get into, but hopefully those couple of trends can help you if you were on the fence either side. Colorado Avalanche visiting the Columbus Blue Jackets. Colorado laying $1.60 plus 135 on the comeback for the Blue Jackets. 87% of tickets and 83% of the handle on the Avalanche. One of the most bet teams in the National Hockey League year in and year out. Very public team. 13% of tickets, 17% of handle on the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I want to kind of dive into this one a little bit because I think there's some interesting things when I was poking around getting ready for you guys earlier this morning. When you look at this game, Colorado 4-2 straight up its last 6. They've got out to a really good start. 3-0 on the season compared to Columbus 1-2. But Columbus on the puck line, 3-0, right? So put that in your pocket. Let's come back to it. Columbus is 7-2 straight up their last 9, and they're 4-1 their last 5 at home. So they're getting better and better. Now, against Columbus, though, Colorado holding a 4-2 advantage over their last 6 games. When I went back, they beat Columbus 7-3 back in their last game last year. But before that, Columbus had taken the previous 2 in this matchup. Now, the over-under where it's setting at is 6.5, 57% of bets, 82% of the handle going to the under, which makes sense because when these two teams meet head-to-head in Columbus, 14 of the last 19 have went under the total. So that under 6.5, I'm going to be a sucker and I'm going to take that. And not only am I going to take it, I'm going to look and say, okay, where can I go and get a little bit more value, a little bit more juice out of the squeeze, so to speak. All right. And when I do that, again, we do this in real time with you guys. Alt total goals. Again, I like the under 7.5 in this one. So we finally put the parlay together that we wanted to put. We're going to have under 7.5 in the Canadiens game, alt total, Alt puck line, Canadiens plus a goal and a half. Alt under 7.5 goals in the Ottawa-Seattle game, and alt under 7.5 in the Colorado-Columbus Blue Jackets plus $1.54. Let's put a half unit on it. And then we got our single unit play that we have, the Montreal Canadiens. But I'm also going to take the dog here. I like Columbus to hand the Avalanche their first loss. Listen, over the last 9 games, that's 7-2. I know Colorado is a better team than Columbus. But again, I always look at hockey like I look at football. Can't lay points on the road. Baseball, really hard to lay big numbers on the road. When you're getting Colorado, I know it's only $1.60, $1.65. Again, have multiple outlets so you shop for the best number. But I like Columbus. I like the home dog in this spot. I think the home dog barks. I'll take the Blue Jackets for a half unit. So we got a half unit on the Blue Jackets plus $1.35. We got a half unit on our parlay, and we got a full unit on the Montreal Canadiens laying $1.52. Next game I want to touch on, Florida Panthers and the New Jersey Devils. Devils laying $1.55. Plus 130 on the comeback for the Panthers. The ticket count and the handle are both split 51 both ways to the Devils, 49% both ways to the Florida Panthers in this one. Some trends to help you out here. Florida 5-2 straight up its last 7, and they've won 5 straight on the road in New Jersey. So anytime they went to New Jersey, 5-0 over the last 5. New Jersey just 4-9 over their last 13. And that young Devils team, we really thought they were ascending, has taken a huge step back. Now, also head-to-head, the under has cashed 6 of the last 9 games head-to-head. Devils just 1-5 straight up their last 6. And the fact that they're laying wood here, I know Florida has their 2 best players out, but they have still gotten out to the 3-2 jump here. Florida, I think you got to look at putting them in some parlays plus 2.5 goals. Again, those alt totals, I like those. Laying a goal and a half, I will never do, but I like swinging things and putting 2 or 3 of those together. For me, I would probably take the dog here or pass. Just with Florida 3-2, Devils 2-1. I just think Florida, it's hard for me to take New Jersey right now. They're really, really struggling. And I definitely wouldn't lay $1.55 with them. So it's going to be a pass, but I may look to put the Panthers somewhere at an alt total plus 2.5 goals somewhere down the line. Edmonton Oilers and the New York Islanders. This one interesting to me. Oilers laying $1.70 on the road. Remember, we gave them out against the Rangers at cash, plus $1.42 on the comeback for the New York Islanders. 88% of tickets, 51% of the handle going to the Edmonton Oilers. Only 12% of tickets, 49% of the handle going to the Islanders. You're over under 5.5. Books are going to need that under again. 24% of tickets going to the under, and only 6% of the handle. Very, very low handle there to the under. So they're definitely going to need some help as far as that goes. When you look at this, Edmonton 13-7 over their last 20, but the over is cashed 7 of the last 10 games Edmonton has played in. Half of that's because you got David and Draisaitl that can score. The other half is Skinner, the goalie, sucks. So there you go. But they are 8-3 the last 11 games on the road. So Edmonton's played very well on the road. They've owned the Islanders 4-1 over the last 5 games. Islanders 0-5. They haven't won a game yet this year as well. And they're just 2-8 straight up their last 10 at home. The Islanders just an absolute mess. But I kind of lean Islanders plus $1.45 here. Don't ask me why. Just a gut feeling. I just think it's a good spot for the Islanders in this one to finally get on the board for their first win of the year. Again, maybe something else you look at an alt plus 2.5 goal thing. I definitely wouldn't lay it with the Oilers. Laying $1.35 against the Rangers is one thing, but when you're trying to lay $1.70 on the road, very, very dangerous proposition. You can get yourself in a big hole financially doing that. It's hard to go that well too many times. And the Oilers, I wouldn't mind doing it, but I just can never trust Skinner. The same thing with the Oilers is the same thing with the Maple Leafs. A lot of firepower. You just can't lay heavy prices with them because of the goalie play. The goalie play will just suffocate you. Next game on the board, Winnipeg Jets laying $1.35 on the road at the Philadelphia Flyers, plus 115 on the comeback. 76% of tickets, 58% of the handle going to the Winnipeg Jets right now. The home team, the Flyers, 12% of tickets, 49% of bets. Now, that over-under set at 5.5 at DraftKings, 73% of bets, 71% of money is on the over in that one. With these two teams, 2-1 are the Winnipeg Jets to start the season. The Flyers, 1-1 and 1 to start the season, but they are 3-0 on the puck line, are the Flyers. So they haven't been, getting completely blown out by no means. When you dig into some trends here, Winnipeg, 1-4 their last 5 in the city of brotherly love, and they're 1-6 straight up on the road. Winnipeg, a very good team, but struggles on the road. Also, the under is cashed 6 of the last 9 games overall that Winnipeg has played in. And another tick to the under here. 5 straight games between these two teams have went to the under. The Flyers, they're 5-1 their last 6 at home. And another big one, head-to-head, Winnipeg and the Flyers, when the game is in Philly, over the last 12, the Flyers own a 10-2 mark. 10-2 over the last 12 in the city of brotherly love. Give me the Flyers plus $1.15 here. We're going to lock that in. So we got the Canadiens minus $1.52. We got the Flyers plus $1.15. We got the Blue Jackets for a half unit plus $1.36. And then we got our parlay we put together with our alt totals there for a half unit plus $1.58, $1.54 actually, sorry. So that's what we got so far. Vancouver Canucks visit the Dallas Stars. Stars laying $1.90 plus 165 on the comeback for Vancouver. 86% of tickets and 81% of the handle to the visiting Canucks. 14% of bets, 19% of the handle going to the Dallas Stars. The home team, Stars, undefeated this year, 3-0. Vancouver comes in 1-2 on the season. Vancouver, though, when they've played Dallas, just 1-4 straight up their last 5, and Vancouver's 2-4 straight up their last 6 overall. However, let's talk about over-unders. Over 5 of the last 6 games has went to the over in Dallas Stars, and 9 of the last 12 games on the road for the Canucks have went to the over. That over-under, you may ask? Yep, you're right. 5.5 at DraftKings, 76% of tickets, 94% of the handle going that way. Maybe an alt over 4.5 goals here. It's going to be heavy juice, but maybe alt 3.5, take that down 2 goals, put that in a parlay with maybe Panthers plus 2.5, Flyers plus 2.5. Some things you can do here again. But Dallas 8-2 straight up their last 10 at home. I can't lay $1.90 with the Stars. Just nothing that I have interest in this hockey match. But again, hopefully gave you some stuff to help you be a handicapper and help you pick out your own side. 2 more I want to get here. Carolina Hurricanes visiting the Anaheim Ducks. The Canes laying $1.90 plus 165 on the comeback for the Quacking Ducks. 86% of tickets, 81% of the handle going to the Hurricanes. Only 14% of tickets and 19% of the handle going to the hometown Anaheim Ducks here. The over-under is set at 6.5. Now, the ticket count on that over-under at DraftKings is split 51% to the under, 49% to the over. One of the few 6.5s we saw pop up there. They've been hanging around 5.5. But 62% of the handle to the over, 38% to the under on this one. But where I want to really get into is the trends. Hurricanes, 4-1 over their last 5. But here's where the rubber meets the road. 2-5 are the Ducks over their last 7. But at home, the Ducks quack. They're 4-1 over their last 5. But believe it or not, head-to-head in the last 20 meetings, and that's a long stretch, last 20 meetings, and in those 20 meetings, the Hurricanes have been really good and the Ducks haven't been good. But the Ducks own an advantage, 14-6. They've won and beaten the Hurricanes 14 of the last 20 matchups, and they're a dog here. The over is cashed 4 of the last 5 games head-to-head for these two teams when the game is played in Anaheim. I'm going to go ahead and take the Ducks here plus $1.60. I know it's not a common play. A lot of people are going to gravitate towards the Hurricanes, but I got to follow that trend. Give me the hometown Ducks to quack plus $1 to $1.65. I'll go ahead and book it at $1.60. Last game on the board, I want to touch on the Boston Bruins and the Vegas Golden Knights. Knights laying 225, plus 185 on the comeback for the Bruins. The over-under 6.5. 65% of tickets, 78% of the handle going to the under. As far as the spread in this one, Vegas, again, 77% of tickets, 78% of the handle, 23% of the tickets, 22% of the handle going to the Boston Bruins in this matchup. Now, as far as the trends between these two teams, Vegas has taken 4 of the last 6 head-to-head. Boston 6-14 over the last 20. Vegas 3-6 over their last 9, and even worse, Vegas has won 5 straight up their last 6. But when they're at home, Vegas hasn't gotten much better against the Bruins. They've only won 2 out of the last 6 meetings. And again, Boston 5-14 on the road, their last 19. When I look at this, I would look at the Bruins in some kind of alt total. I know I keep talking to those, but playing these little half-unit parlays where you get plus money and you get a lot of plus 2.5, you can move the puck line a goal or two. Again, just trying to look for ways to make money in this. There's nothing here straight up I would want to get involved in. I'm not laying 225 with the Knights. And Boston has actually played surprisingly well to start out the season. They're 3-1. Vegas is 2-0. I think it's going to be a good matchup. Again, I would look at Boston in one of those alt puck lines, plus 2.5 or something like that. I think you can get tremendous value and some bang for your buck. So again, let's just recap our plays, what we're going to run down through. We're going to take the Anaheim Ducks today, plus $1.60 for a single unit. We're going to take the Montreal Canadiens, minus $1.52 for a single unit. We're going to take the Philadelphia Flyers, plus $1.15 for a single unit. And then we're going to have a half unit on the Columbus Blue Jackets at home, getting plus money, plus $1.32. And then we're going to do a half unit on a plus 154 parlay, alt under 7.5 goals in the Canadiens game, alt puck line plus a goal and a half for the Canadiens, alt 7.5 under in the Ottawa Center Seattle Kraken match, and under 7.5 alt total for the Avalanche Blue Jackets. Again, click that like, hit subscribe, check out our football content. We got a breakdown on tonight's game, Steelers, Bengals, as well as college football Friday night coming up. We're going to dig into that Miami-Louisville game. I'm your host, RJ Cash. God bless and happy handicapping.